Midwest, home sweet home in good old Indiana. Place of small towns, cozy families gather together, and fields of corn and rustic woods. But, like any town, there is a dark underbelly that often goes unnoted. We are part of that darkness. We lurk in the shadows to bring you the best in horror, metal, and stories of the grotesque. This is Blood in the Cornfields.
All right, welcome in, cellar dwellers. I am Mark.
I'm Ivy.
And we are Blood in the Cornfields. Got a good episode for you today. Another movie one.
We have been ramping it for quite some time.
I've been talking about the marketing.
Yes, because the marketing has been stellar.
It's been awfully goopy.
Yeah. I know we talk about the marketing and Monkey as well, but no. We're talking about street trash.
Yes, the 2024 street trash.
That's right. But we will also talk a little bit about the original. Don't worry.
Yes, we're going to cover all angles, hopefully, as much as we can.
But the main reason we're doing this one, too, is not just because of us, wanting to do this one for a while, but also we are in collaboration with Henri Devil. Henri Devil Designs, he has a magazine coming out. And he has asked for us to be horror movie reviewers.
Which is pretty cool.
That's badass.
And I know it's just starting, and I mean, are we doing it like monthly?
I think it's every other month.
Every other month? That's right.
Or something like
we had
that.
Talked about that. Mm-hmm. Monthly would be tough.
Yeah.
Especially with, what we all do.
Yeah, and I think that's why he's also doing it every other month as well.
Yeah, that'd be a lot to even, because if he's doing a whole magazine every month,
that's a lot.
It's if it's not your main priority, job, then yeah, that's a lot. Mm-hmm. So yeah, look forward to that. Every other month we'll be doing some cool reviews.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I guess in horror news in the horror world, what you want to dive into first?
Well, we got a lot here.
Yes, we do.
Do you want to talk about Static Tapes?
Yes. So Static Tape is having their horror convention April 19th.
In Muskegon?
Yes, in the Muskegon Mall. Mm-hmm. So excited for that. I've already requested off work. I am definitely going, hoping that there's a lot of good vendors out there. Hopefully going to have Linnea sign the newest trash toy that I got.
That's so cool.
Yes. It's got perfect amount of space, right on the face. That she can sign, so I bought it for that reason. Mm-hmm. Went down to Kokomo Toys, last week and found that gem there. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So April 19th, cool little horror convention. It's local, so come on and check it out.
And the cool thing too is that they got a shit ton of clothing in from Paul Bearer Press.
Paul Bearer Press, yes.
Oh my God, check it out on their store, on Paul Bearer Press as well through Instagram. They have some epic hats.
Yeah, they do. The hats is what was.
I love cool. The Cannibal Holocaust. Cannibal Holocaust. And then they also had, of all things, my favorite movie of all time, Maniac. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, what?
I like the Faces of Death.
Yeah, that
one too. Yeah, so they have some cool shirts on there. So check out Paul Bearer Press. They're going to have stuff. And Static Tape, even if this wasn't a convention, has a bunch of cool shit.
Oh, yeah.
Bunch of cool shit. So I'm excited. I haven't gone up there. Mainly because I'm stashing money away because I know I'm going to drop some shit when I go up there. So
right.
Yeah.
Oh, and also Rob Zombie dropped a children's book.
Yes. Yes, he did. And it, I know you showed me an article or two that's a little, controversial, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, because
it's just people that don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it also looks like it's one of those rage bait articles. It's literally
they just want you to
better. It's shit. From fucking Daily Mail.
What even is that's just two words they threw together. They're let's make it sound good. Daily Mail.
Right?
It's that's what you get every day. So I bought it. We had talked about it.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to me, my girlfriend ordered it. And it just showed up. Yeah, she set it on my game chair the other night. And I'm like, what's that? And she's like, open it. And I was like, I had no idea. Because we had just talked about it.
Yeah.
I think I had seen it one more time, but it didn't, I didn't retain any of it. So I have it. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. I love shit like that. Mm-hmm. The unique collectibles is what I'm all about. Mm-hmm. The book is really cool. It's not meant to be read to
a child,
2 and 3 year olds, but
you certainly could.
You could. But it goes through like, O is for Otis, but then they have like a little line where it's like T is for Tiny who tumbles in terror or something like that.
Right.
So they kind of rhyme it. And that's the first part of the book. Then the second part of the book is let's talk about like letters. So it's like F for face, and it's this like cut off skin face.
That's cool.
And then there's another part of it, and then there's like a third part where it says like practice writing names, and it's like write Otis, write baby, and write something else.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It's not just like the children's book part where it's the story. There's other elements to it, which is pretty rad.
And we should also mention, like, and Luke will throw up an image of it. The book is called Z is for Zombie, Learning to Spell with House of 1,000 Corpses Friends. And it looks like fucking Golden Books.
It does.
With the edges that just have all the cool, like, little characters. Like, got the chink and wing, you got Spalding on it and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So good.
It's really cool. I was totally excited that she got it for me. I thought that was fucking awesome.
And you could be the proud owner of it too. It's on Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. Get it.
It is actually like a bestseller right now.
I'm not shocked. I was a little bit worried because usually things like this, they're on like somewhat of a limited release. Mm-hmm. And so I was definitely worried like, oh shit, like I might not get one. I didn't even order one in time. Like she had already ordered it for me. So
she's so sweet.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was pretty sweet.
All right, so next you got some cool shit recently.
Yes, so the Fetus, a movie I've talked about, is coming out, and I really love how the director is doing a lot of advertising and going down and hitting a lot of the conventions. So to support them, I ordered a Fetus shirt. And another cool, unique part, you know how I all love marketing. Well, they have a box of Fetus condoms. And so you can buy condoms that say the Fetus on them. And I was just like, that's so brilliant. Like, I love that marketing. So I was like, all right, well, I got to get the shirt and the condoms. So order the shirt. And I come and there's two packages. And I'm thinking like, oh, well, one's the shirt and one's the condoms or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I open up a shirt or package and it's the shirt. Yeah. And then on my order form, it says, I think you'd, or like, I figured you'd like this one better. I think is what it said. And then said like a smiley face and then Joe. Mm-hmm. So it's Joe, I forget his last name. I want to say it's like Joe Lamb or Lie or something like that.
Joe Lamb.
Joe Lamb. L-A-M. Okay. That's what I thought. But
you're right.
I don't know. It just didn't sound right. So anyway, yeah, I was right. Joe Lamb. And then it wrote like a little smiley face and then Joe. So I was like, oh, okay. So I opened the second package, and it's another shirt and the condoms. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? So what I think he did is, like, he ran, like, they had one of the shirts, but it left, like, a border for where you can see the print or whatever. It wasn't bad. I still would have been totally cool with it. But then he gave me one where there was no border. So he actually gave me two shirts, and then he signed the box of condoms.
That's so badass.
So the box of condoms, I just was buying normal, but the director and writer signed them. So I was like, that's so fucking cool.
Now you can't use them.
Oh, no, I was never going to use them. No.
I figured you weren't.
Just straight up raw dog every time for me.
I mean, you do you. I won't judge.
No, but I would have never. No, like, even if I was single and, all that. No, I'd have never. But yeah, so I have them now. The director signed it. That's so cool.
That's bad.
And then, I posted some pictures up on my Instagram.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Which is pretty cool. And I was lucky enough that the Fetus their page copied me and added me to their story of me with the my shirt on in my little room with all my shit up behind me.
That's badass.
And then the picture of the condom. So yeah, you can see my little ugly mug on the Fetus's story timeline. If it's still, I was gonna say, it's still back there. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So it'll probably be gone by the time anyone sees this, but it's still cool though. So yeah, and he's doing making all the rounds and doing his little tour and all that sort of stuff.
That's badass.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, he's
a cool dude. Well, also we got some cool Toxic Avenger updates.
Yes, finally something with we can sink our teeth into.
Yes.
Something of substance.
So they released images of Toxie.
Mm-hmm.
I know we put up on our Instagram a poll in which you guys are very torn on what you guys feel about Toxie.
Yeah.
Literally half of you are either all for it or half of you are like, no, get him away from me.
Which I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
Like I'm not surprised at all.
Makes sense it would be as divisive as it was.
Oh, and then Toxie knew somewhat locally. Peter Dinklage was in full costume on the river in Chicago when it was green.
That's so cool.
There's cool, those pictures floating around there too. But that's.
Yeah, the Toxic Avenger actually tagged us on their page as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that was really cool because they dropped a trailer recently with Bloody Disgusting, kind of backing it. And the trailer's fucking great.
No, it's pretty good, yeah.
With, was it what's the name of the restaurant? Fucking Miss Meat?
Miss Meat, yeah.
That's fucking funny. And then we get to see Toxie in all his glory come in and fight the bad guys, but apparently, we got tagged on their page as well.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. I'm just learning these things.
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
You might have showed me, but I don't know.
So that was really nice of them.
Shit, I didn't know that. That's cool. It's cool when that kind of happens,
Yeah, it's like we're not looking for it, but thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so about Toxie. Honestly, no, it's not ever going to be the same Toxie.
No.
I mean, we had the Toxie in the 80s. He's not going anywhere. It's fine.
Yeah.
But this new Toxie, I mean, I think he's fine. I think he looks all right.
Mm-hmm.
He's his own unique creation this time around.
Well, so the thing is so we had this with the Crow, too.
Yeah.
And, that is a little bit different because, to me, I think the Crow and Toxic Avenger, I think the Crow is a little bit more of a cult following, sacred movie to people. Where
Absolutely.
Not a lot of people are Toxic Avenger is, sacred to me. I'm sure there are some out there, but there's not nearly as many. But I can't think of as much controversy for a reveal of outfit since that Crow picture dropped.
Oh, right, yeah.
When we just tore it to shit.
Well, because it deserved to be torn to shit. We don't need to get into that. You can go listen to that later, or we'll eventually hate watch it, I'm sure.
I know. It's so terrible. But, it's interesting to see the controversy that's kind of drummed up just from those pictures. So before that trailer was even released.
And, we actually did get one person that kind of said that I don't know if he wants me to reveal his name or not, but we had a follower that said, I love Toxie, and I've been excited for this remake for years. Gonna be hard to top a trauma film, though.
100% accurate.
Yeah, that's very accurate, and thank you for chiming in on that. You know who you are.
Yeah. Well, shout them out, and unless they wanted to, then we'll next time. I don't know. Keep commenting, and then if you tell us, then we'll shout you out.
We're still gonna go see this movie no matter what.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't it come out in Labor Day weekend or something like that?
I don't know. It comes out sometime soonish.
Yeah.
But this is one that I would go to theaters and see.
100%.
Yeah. I would have with the fetus, but it's not around here.
Yeah, it's only in Indianapolis, didn't you say?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So Fright Rags is released.
Company.
Yeah, so they're out, but they just released and dropped this week a new Hellraiser line of t-shirts. They are there's 4 different designs. They're all legit. Mm-hmm. One has I forget if it was Frank playing with the box.
Yep.
That one is badass. Yeah, all of those, I would take any of them.
Fright Rags always has fucking fantastic designs. They have awesome sales as well. They're always looking for weird stuff, niche stuff. There was a time where they had Maniac.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And also that's where I got my Julie shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it might be where I got mine too. I wouldn't be shocked. I don't remember though, but yeah, Fright Rags does really, really good shit.
Mm-hmm. South by Southwest has been having some interesting films.
Yes, they have. They've been doing quite a bit of horror this time around.
And that's great to see. Some of the things that they have listed also are obviously Death of a Unicorn, which is getting shat on.
Yep.
You have a movie called Good Boy that's been really blowing up over there. It's basically a haunted house film, all from the point of view of a dog.
That sounds so interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure Boomer will live. He's gonna be fine. And then Clown in the Cornfields, of course, has been doing very well, and we will see that one as well.
Yes.
I'm debating if I should read the book or seek out the book or what I should do. But
yeah, I don't know. It's reading. Who am I kidding? I'm not doing it.
Well, you got audiobooks anymore.
I'm not listening to it. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Clown in the Cornfield as well too. So, a lot of good stuff going on in the world of horror right now, definitely.
Absolutely. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I'm excited for a lot of that, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Now,
yeah.
Should we just rip into this bitch?
I feel like we can.
Bring in volunteer number 85.
I'm still gonna get paid.
Volunteers receiving a dose of synthesized
Please don't put
substrate
that needle in me.
B282.
No, stop. Wait.
Citywide curfew is now in effect. You are ordered to remain in your homes and off the streets. Failure to comply will result in prosecution.
It's the 8th consecutive year of Mayor Mustard. Will he be re-elected?
Mayhem in the city. Homeless are fighting against the government. People are fighting for their rights.
What the fuck?
There's another one! Go!
No babies.
I present to you the crew, the most incredible crackheads that you'll ever meet.
I have reduced the number of homeless people in the city to basically zero.
The mayor's fucking melting people.
They're exterminating everybody. You are finally ready, my China. It's time.
We don't want this party turning into a massacre.
Massacre sounds good to me.
Fucking good, come here!
So the new Street Trash was directed by Ryan Kruger.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually not a remake.
Which I had not heard until you told me the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is actually a direct sequel.
Which is interesting because it has a lot of parallels that someone could think it's a half remake or our interpretation of Street Trash.
Right, exactly. So if those of you who are not familiar with Street Trash, you need to familiarize yourself with it.
Yes.
It is technically available on Amazon.
Yep, it's available on Prime.
But it's through Screambox.
So it's straight on Prime though.
Okay.
Just so you know. You don't have to go through Screambox. But if you have a Prime account, because that's how I watch it.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the original.
Yep.
But it says it's on Tubi. Don't listen to them. I tried looking on Tubi.
Did you?
I couldn't find it. Worse shit. So
a lot of times I take that shit with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like I'll just kind of go into what I have and search it.
But it's a great little film. As a matter of fact, it is actually the 1987, the original Street Trash is actually a remake of a short film.
Which, I also found really interesting. And I have not seen the short film.
The short film it's a short film. It's basically a condensed down version from this movie.
Okay.
You got basically got most of the same characters of the first film, like Fred and what's his name? Polly, the dude that gets it.
Yes, yeah.
And Wizzy. All those blokes are in there, and I'm sure there's a couple others. But basically, they follow this premise. a liquor store owner happens to find a box of discounted fluid
that he says is like 60 some years old or something like that. Yeah.
And it's been discontinued. It goes by in the original short, it goes by Thunderbird. In the OG one, in the 87 one, it's 10 and Fly Viper.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's given out these bottles of stuff to everybody, and unbeknownst to him, it's melting and killing the homeless population, and he's selling it for $1.
For $1. He's just trying to make a buck, man.
It's a comedy. It's a straight up goofy 80s nasty mucky comedy.
It is. It very much the comedy is very much an 80s style comedy.
Everything's not PC at all.
Yeah. And you know, it's the hokey shit that I like that, you know, I'm always kind of drawn to. A unique movie for sure. Definitely one that stands out. And now that I rewatched it again, it makes me even more mad that Half Price had that fucking VHS for like $100.
Yeah, well, no kidding. It's like, I get it. It is very much a notorious movie, especially if you were in the video store and to actually pick it up and to, oh my God, what the fuck did I watch?
Yeah.
I mean, hell, in this original movie, we have all the goop scenes you could ever possibly want. However, it takes its time.
Yeah, it does.
It's a slow burn getting to the nastiness.
Yeah.
You have Polly's death, which is plastered all over the marketing information for Street Trash, the original, where he's being flushed down the toilet melting down the toilet, rather. The funny parts, though, that are in this that make it just so unique and so of its time are like the slapstickiness of it.
Yeah.
There's literally a scene where people play football with a severed dick, and it keeps changing in sizes.
Yeah, I know, and kind of like styles and everything. Yeah, it was great.
I guess the guy that plays Fred, you know, the main homeless dude, he was the prosthetics people, did the makeup for this film, and he made the dicks.
That's cool.
Huh. He apparently made 3 different dicks, and they all had different names. The other funny part about the original is that there's this ongoing joke, multiple ongoing jokes in it, where Fred, the main character that we follow, keeps getting this bottle of Viper taken away from him each time. So he's never gotten to drink it, thank God. But he also doesn't know that it's killing people until the big dude blows up.
Yeah. Till towards the very, very end.
Yeah, and that's where you get all your goopy mess multiple times.
Yeah. So it's an interesting movie for someone to choose to, you know, do a sequel on for sure.
Well, and then the other thing is too, there's so many jokes of women getting either raped.
Yeah.
Or it's never funny for anybody to get raped, but there was this one part in the movie that just killed me.
Yeah.
It's where, and there's multiple, that's the other thing. This whole movie is all over the place.
It is.
There is different plots going on. There's different characters you gotta follow. But anyway, there's this guy, his name's Frank or whatever, and he's this huge guy.
He's a big boy.
And he finds a dead lady washed up on shore and just drops his drawers.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Yeah.
Nasty, gross. But we know she's not actually dead, and I never will condone anything like that.
You won't condone necrophilia?
No, I ain't touching that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But this very alive lady who is playing a dead person is very well endowed in the ass area.
Yeah.
She double cheeked up with no place to go.
She's packing heat.
There's also the other joke where Bronson, he's this Vietnam War vet on top of his throne of trash. Every time he gets up, this lady that he's fucking, she's tossed down the pile.
I know, it's
it's always something that distracts him, and then all of a sudden he gets up and there she goes tumbling down the pile again.
Yeah, it's I mean, what more can you say? It's
just a silly, weird movie of its time.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. And we get titties multiple times.
Yeah, you get lots of nudity.
Lots, even male nudity in this one too.
Yeah.
You get to see dicks at least twice.
You get it all.
Full frontal bush twice.
Yep.
And at least titties thrice.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean do you have more that you want to say about the first one?
That's
not
pretty
really
much it.
So, with that kind of being said about the first movie, I found this really intriguing that like there was going to be a second one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so curious to be like, all right, so how's it going to be, how's it going to be done and all this sort of stuff, like what sort of budget they bringing. So the first or the second one,
we're gonna go into spoilers.
Yeah.
This movie definitely has more of a plot, that's for sure.
It does.
It's more structured.
It is. It's more well put together. Not necessarily put together, but more structured.
It's more structured.
It is more structured.
You start out with, first off, so they do talk about the events of the first movie.
Yes.
Where apparently this mayor who's in charge of this, and also it all takes place in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That's their point of where they're at with this story. This mayor takes note of what happened with the Tenenfly Viper and wants to basically harness that to create a substance or a drug that could kill off the homeless.
Yeah.
Because I guess in the year 2050, not so distant future, the middle class is completely erased.
Wiped out, yeah.
And now everybody's pretty much homeless, and you have all the mega rich people that are still doing just fine.
Yep. And then it's just everyone else is poor.
Yeah. So his whole thing is he just wants to wipe out every underclass person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is his goal.
He just wants to goop them out.
Yep. And boy, do they goop them out.
Yes, they really do. The goopage in this movie is pretty intense. Pretty. It is beautiful.
It is beautiful goop.
Yes.
I mean, the original one was too, but this one's even more vibrant and neon and in your face.
Yeah, it is. It is more aesthetically pleasing.
You literally get your first goopy scene in the first 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
And it's brutal.
The film really, kind of starts out, and you also get your first penis shot.
Yeah, you do.
The first, I don't know,
10 minutes or so or whatever.
It seemed like even under that. It seemed like maybe even under 5 minutes, maybe even under 2 minutes. I feel like it was like the opening scene.
With the cop?
Yeah. And where he gets his dick chopped off in the gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that was crazy.
I feel like a lot of this movie has close parallels with the original.
And maybe even homages to the original.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a lot of similarities. Mm-hmm. The way that it's structured is still very similar to the first one. Mm-hmm. And it is comedy laced, I guess you would say.
And to kind of give you a little bit of understanding on the comedy aspects of it, we're going to kind of break down some of the characters because they have their own comedic tropes.
They do, yeah.
Literally, this is like a band of misfits joining together to try to take down the rich people.
Yeah, and they even add that girl that like nobody knew.
Yeah.
So they're just like, hey, you
So we have Ronald, who's almost like the replacement of Fred.
Yeah.
Because he's like that smarmy kind of, what do you call it? Like, fast talker.
He's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like the leader, I guess, of this little group.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, the leader.
And then Alex is the new girl. Mm-hmm. And we get tragic backstory from her, I guess. Her father owned a business. They took him out, and they took away her little sister. And now here she is, just thrown into all this chaos, trying to figure it out. You have Chef... the Jewish guy, and boy, do they ramp up that part of his whole character.
I mean, think about it. That's all I'm saying. Weird elf guy flies into kids' rooms at night, promising them they'll be young forever. He's a pedo, for sure.
You're full of shit. Peter Pan is the hero, and he defeats Hook.
But how do you think Captain Hook got to Neverland in the first place? Anne kidnapped him, and then he tosses him away when he gets too old.
So you're telling me that Hook is actually the hero?
Of course he is. He's the only one that ever stands up to Pan. Pan's the ultimate villain. He's basically a serial killer. I mean, he treats Wendy like a shiksa. And don't get me started on Tinkerbell.
I have no problems with it. It's just, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
They do that
That's
for
an
several
interesting
things in
choice.
this movie where it's like, yeah, they ramp it up, and I'm just like,
And then you got the boys. I don't know how else to describe them. Just
I don't know.
The boys. They're like these brothers that are just always quick whippy. You know, they're always quippy. They're always making jokes back and forth. I don't know how else to describe them.
Yeah, it to me, it's part of the humor of this movie that, like, I feel a lot of people may like, but it just missed the mark with me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very much that.
And then, of course, you have 2-Bit, Gary Green's character.
Yeah.
Which
Fried Berry.
We'll come back. Yeah, we'll definitely come back to that point because it seems like Gary Green can only play one character.
I'm curious to see him in other stuff.
Yeah, but like that's fine. He plays his character.
He plays it
well.
good.
Because we'll get back to him. But anyway, yeah. So these group of people, like, they're just, it's that type of comedy where they are making conversation, but it's like awkward, and it's almost like I describe it as like Guardians of the Galaxy. Kind of,
Yeah.
That's their dynamic.
Yeah, it's the conversation between each other that's like the kind of comedy.
Yeah, it's kind of dry.
Yeah, it is. That's what I was saying. It's you know, it's hard for me to describe because it's not the type of humor that I'm normally used to.
Mm-hmm. And especially with the first one, which is very slapsticky. I mean, with everything.
Which is more my humor.
Yeah. You could almost argue that the last half of the movie is more slapsticky, but not really. It takes it serious. And it almost feels like it does this just so that way you get to know these characters and so you like them.
It does kind of make unique cutouts so that you can kind of pick your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say like Guardians of the Galaxy does that too.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of do that same thing.
Yeah.
Like you could definitely pick out your favorite for sure.
Yeah, so that way when, because we're in spoilers, Chef dies, you're like, oh no, not him!
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And especially the way that he does die.
Yeah, with the nasty frog bubbles and shit.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's so good, though.
I loved the frog bubbles. The goop in this one, like, you know, we'll give our overall ratings and I'll touch on that, but the goop is pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's where all their budget went, is the goop.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is, like, there's a lot of other, like, side characters that are interesting. Like, there's the Rat King.
Oh, yeah.
With the nasty little...
Yeah, and, like, she didn't have many parts.
No.
Like, speaking. I can't even really remember
She just was tied up to that air machine with the dude on a chain.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Nasty, but cool.
Yeah, I was down for it, but it took the turn with she really wasn't even in the movie hardly.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why she was so important, actually.
I know, they didn't really explain any of that. And then, her little servant or whatever ends up taking over.
Whatever the hell his name, Geep or something weird like that.
I don't even know.
But, like, basically, the main character, Ronald, is, like we said, he does multiple jobs off to the side. He's kind of a fast talker. He does this shit. But, like, he first goes to, what is it? The sex something anonymous.
Oh, like sex anonymous.
Yeah. Because he's like, he needs to stop.
Yeah.
But yet that's where he gets his clients from.
He gets his clients.
And then
he goes to Drugs Anonymous.
Yep. And then that's where he gets his drugs.
Yeah.
From society.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but society's got this little blue one that he keeps, like, you know, egging him on with. Like, sure you don't want to try this one?
Sure you don't want it? Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm not ready for that yet. But it's important in the last half of the movie because he shoots up with that stuff and that helps him take down all the bad guys.
Yeah. It's his fucking, I don't even know, his fuel to kind of get everybody and take them out.
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's part of it too. Like, this movie's just all over the place as well, but not in the same way the first one is.
Yeah, no, it's not.
This one starts off as a comedy, and then it goes into a drama when people are starting to die, they're literally starting to Auschwitz off half of the people in the homeless, community. And then it goes into just straight up action film.
Yeah, it does take that turn, which was interesting, like a right-hand turn into like kind of an action-y, movie and all that. I wasn't really seeing that coming.
Like full on, they have guns, packing ammo. 2-bit has like, all strapped up with the guns, and so is his little imaginary friend.
Yeah. Oh, imaginary friend. What was his imaginary friend's name?
Was it Reggie?
I don't remember. I'm so...
But we can talk about him for a second because,
Like, so the idea of him is cool, and for the first little bit, it's cool, but, like, that was where I had the problem, because how I would describe it is, like, it's this imaginary friend, this little blue guy that only... 2-bit can see.
Because he's on drugs.
And he's, like... vulgar just to be vulgar. Like, I get it in the beginning because it's like, kind of his character, but every single cutscene to him, he's saying something just absolutely vulgar, and it's like,
it doesn't add to anything.
It doesn't, no. And it, to me, I likened it to where I made the comp of, it's like when a child is first allowed to cuss or first figures out to cuss, and they just cuss to cuss. Like, just to be vulgar, they're vulgar to just be vulgar. And I feel like that's the only thing that this character is doing, and that's all that it brings to it. And it's like, like, it might be funny the first 1, 2, or 3 times it cuts to him, but by the, 8th or 9th time it cuts to him, it's like, oh, okay, all right, what vulgar is he gonna say? And it's never anything clever. It's never anything witty.
Really, no.
It's just vulgar. And it's like, there's so much you could have done with that character.
Right.
But you chose to just, he's going to be completely obscene, and that's going to be him literally every time.
Yeah. I think to some people, they might find that funny. I mean, hell, that was kind of a trope for a while in a lot of, comedies.
Yeah.
They had, this, take Ted, for example, but Ted was better written. We'll ignore Ted, too.
Yeah.
But, Ted, and there was that one other, I don't remember if it was a superhero movie or what it was, but, there's, this little flying donkey thing that was an imaginary friend, but apparently it was attached to this really, terrible, nasty world. And do you remember what I'm talking about, kind of?
No, it's not ringing any bells. But...
it seems like that was a trend for a while. And you even saw it with Guardians of the Galaxy with, Rocket Raccoon. Just this tough guy meant to, go in there, but he's real tiny and shit.
But I felt like even that character
but those
had more
worked.
depth. They were more witty. It wasn't just I'm being vulgar to be vulgar.
Right. Those worked.
They actually had wit behind it.
Yeah. And it looks like that's what he was trying to do, but he failed.
Yeah, it was just not good. Not good with that character. Like I said, for the first 3 or 4 times, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. It's his, vulgar little sidekick. And but then after, like I said, the 8th or 9th time, it just was like, okay, this now.
He almost, he almost made me think, because he added that weirdness to it, he is almost like a little Trauma character.
It could be, yeah.
You know what I mean? I could see Trauma doing something like that.
Yeah.
A weaker Trauma film.
I was gonna, yeah, definitely.
I mean, other than that, it's a perfectly fine movie, and Ryan did a great job. He really did. You could tell he loved the original film and was trying to do something new with it.
Yeah. And this with a lot of films, I'm not just gonna trash on this film because I love the cinematography aspect of it. It's shot really good. It's really pretty, even though it's on a fairly limited set.
Oh yeah, you can tell.
There's not a lot of extravagant scene changes or anything like that.
Well, and even with the rich people scenes, it's that's nowhere where they would be at.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, I could tell that. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but there are a lot of aspects of this movie that I do like. So, I know the negative sometimes shines out, but the cinematography is great. The goopage was great. Better than the first one, in my opinion. Some of the character development was good, was strong. Like I said, you end up kind of liking them and rooting for certain ones. Yeah. But I feel it's like you pick out the one that you kind of like. Yeah. Some of you may like how the brothers bant and joke around with each other and stuff like that. So I think he did a great job with that. And
honestly, Fried Barry did a pretty good job.
He did 2-bit for what it was.
He did. I mean, he was basically playing the same character from Fried Barry. Basically the same thing. It's dude loaded up on drugs, this time not possessed by an alien that we know of, unless that's what Reggie was supposed to be, the little blue dude.
Could be. But yeah, and he's witty at some points, and so his character's not all bad, and I like what he adds to it.
Yeah,
for sure. So I just want to kind of say that before we go too far into it, because a lot of the negatives are coming out, because that's the thing with this movie. I think there's strong negatives and strong positives. There's not a lot of in between for this movie.
Yeah, either you're going to like it or you're going to absolutely hate it. And you can even see how divisive it is on IMDb right now or any other place where they judge or make reviews. I mean, it's a sequel to an original. We've seen a shit ton of these recently, but you could tell this was made with love, but he was also trying to, update it for a modern audience. Especially with the more PC stuff in his. Yeah. There's not as many women getting hurt. Or, I mean, there really isn't any titties except for maybe one exploding titty at the end, and even then it's just like the side part of her tit. It's not even the actual tits
you can't
itself.
hit us with side boob. It doesn't count.
No.
Totally doesn't count. So, I mean, for me, to kind of go, over some of my collective thoughts, A fucking plus for the cover.
Yeah.
A plus for the cover.
Melt the Rich.
Yeah.
With a melting cop on the front.
Yeah, that's the cover's awesome. I love that they really wanted to, pay tribute to the goopiness of the first one, and they upped it, and it's so beautiful. It's glorious.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's definite, parts I like about this movie and parts that I'm like, I didn't really care for. But I must say, the comedy aspect of it, I feel like, and I said this on the first recording, and then now I'm going to say it again on this one because I want to double down even more. I feel like some of you out there, this is more your comedy style suited to than what mine is. Like, I don't dig a lot of British humor. That's dry. It just doesn't float for me. But I know there's a lot of you out there that do. And I'm thinking maybe that's what this movie is about. It just didn't hit humor for me very well. Yeah. But I won't diss it on the fact that this is probably going to hit for a lot of other people. So, I mean, what are kind of some of your rough overalls?
Well, I was just basically going to give my score at this point.
Sure. I think because that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm interested, too, because I heard your score the first time.
Yeah. I'm honestly probably going to just stick with the same thing, 7 out of 10 for me.
Where do you put the first one?
Oh, first one's like 8. Like at least 8 or 9.
So, yeah.
8.5. I would say 8.5. 8.5.
Okay, so that's what I was going with. In my head, I had an 8.5 too. So.
Yeah, 8.5 for the original, just because it's sillier. It's more. Okay, so the first one I would watch over again because it's funny. Yeah. Because it hits me in the funny bones when they toss that damn dick around. And yes, are there parts of it that are absolutely nasty by today's standards? Yes, but that's part of its charm, weirdly enough.
I know, like, I love that. So, for example, when he picks up the girl in the, like, peachish dress, takes her back to his little trash home.
Yeah.
And he's, like, ripping her dress down and, like, you know, having her bend over and then, like, rips her, her, like, pantyhose down or whatever. And, like, it's...
They fall over in the couch.
It's just stupid. And the whole sex scene, you just see through, like, tires, and it lasts, like, 20 seconds. And he's like, I'm good. And she's like, more. And he just, like, goes
Poor
to
lady
sleep.
gets gang raped at the end. That's terrifying.
But it's... So, the original, for me, is... an outstanding film because it's so ridiculously stupid funny, and I love that shit.
Yeah, it's steeped in fantasy for those of you that are worried. Yes, it's steeped in fantasy. This isn't going to happen. Does it happen to people? Yes, but we're not talking about this. This is to be silly.
Yeah, and the fact that it's so silly, I don't think
it's
anyone
over the
ever
top.
Watches it would be like, take any of the rape scenes serious.
Yeah.
Now,
I would hope not.
If you want to go to, like, I don't remember the original because I have to watch it again, but I always say, I spit on your grave.
Oh, yeah. That's...
And then the Hills Have Eyes remake rape scenes are the ones that, like, make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Those, I can point them out. The only two I've ever seen in cinematic history I can ever recall, those two.
Yeah.
And again, I'm discarding the originals because it's been so long since I've seen the originals that I'll just cite the remakes. But yeah, those made me uncomfortable. This did not. It's so stupid.
It's
because
silly.
it's silly while it's going on.
Yeah.
So it's not offensive in that manner just because it's silly. Like, you know, it's like I said, like they do it really quick and she's like, more.
Yeah.
And like flopping over the seat.
She's very drunk.
Yeah. Which we don't condone here at Blood in the Cornfields.
No, we don't. It's like I said, it's meant to be silly. You could tell it's very of its time. But yeah, 8.5 for me for the first one, but for this one, 7. I would watch it with someone else if they were curious about it, but I'd be like, but you need to see the original. Like, you've seen this one? Yeah. I need to show you the original.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Yeah, so
I would say that too.
That's just where I'm at with it. I like it. I like the humor in it. I personally like the Guardians of the Galaxy-esque misfit story. I just like stories like that. Mm-hmm. I just think those are fun. I'm a sucker for that type of thing, kind of like Goonies or Monster Squad, that type of shit.
Yeah.
Not that this is this, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Comparing apples to oranges, but yeah, I think it's a perfectly fine movie. Clapping and hats off to Ryan for doing a really good job. Yeah. For me, the negatives would definitely be like, pick a style of movie you want this to be. Is it going to be all action? Is it going to be all comedy? I could have done without the drama parts. I feel like that slowed the movie down.
Sure.
I understand what they were going for, but you could have still done it in a more cheesy way, I feel, to fit the rest of the tone of the movie. I feel like that the bad guy, the mayor, was more of a trauma villain. Like, yeah, he was more of a trauma villain, and all the rest of the characters did not feel trauma. I don't know. It was like two different worlds colliding.
There was some confusing parts in it, and so I'll just get my scores out of the way because they're exactly the same as yours. Yeah. So with my scoring, since I'm one who loves a lot of other things about cinematography and movies and all that, so I mean, for me, the movie in itself is like 6.5 for me in there. The 7, I bump it up another half to where I say, hey, you should own this. Yeah. Because that's where my 7 is, you should own it. And the reason being is, this may sound dumb, but that cover takes me back to VHS days 100%. In the store and seeing that, that drives you in. The coloring in the yellow is beautiful, perfect. That cover is so good that it bumps it up to me to give it a 7 to just incorporate. Like, that's a shirt. That's a shirt, motherfucker, I would wear.
100%.
Yes, absolutely badass. So there are lots of aspects of this movie I like. I feel that it's probably going to hit home for some other viewers better than it did for me. So I go with a solid 7 on that. The goopage is awesome. Yeah. There is some humor that I like in it. I did laugh at some parts.
Yeah.
Definitely. So it's not all completely dry humor that missed the mark. It's just, I think most of it is of like a comedy section that I just don't identify with.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. Not everybody is going to be the same.
Yeah.
So for me, the old one, an 8.5, especially after going back, I really liked it.
Yeah.
To me, it's of that like tier 2 movies.
Yeah.
To where it's right below those tier 1s. And 8.5 I mean, the substance, I think, is only scored higher in our scores.
Yeah.
So that's the second highest score that we've done. That's pretty good.
And it's another goopy movie.
Yeah. Well, there's a theme.
Body horror, man.
Yeah. We're all about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would stick with an 8.5 for the original. So I would love to see more of Ryan's work. I want to see him tackle different projects and try to do different things, because I would love to see his style of cinematography and storytelling brought to a different format, to something else. I don't know what that something else would be, but I would love to see him do something else to see how that turns out. Because it's like, I feel like this just missed the mark, but maybe his next movie might totally hit it.
You're right. Like, Fried Berry apparently did pretty good. So
yeah, I have it. It's just one of those ones that I've not watched. You know, being a collector, I collect them and I have full intentions of watching them. But it's like,
you're not going to be able to get to all of these. I mean, look at your collection. Look at our collections. It's like, yeah, we've watched these movies at one point in our lives, but like to actually go back and watch new ones, it's like, well, sometimes I want to watch an old one, you know?
Yep. So, I mean, ultimately, this carries a recommendation for those of you out there to go see it.
Yes.
To own it, to watch it, because I feel like a lot of you may disagree with us and like it better. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth recommending.
100%. I 100% recommend this. And hey, check out Karma if you're local.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's where
Go see if they got it restocked.
They probably will. Definitely. Yeah, hit up Karma. I can't, stress enough how much I love that place.
This apparently is also on Screambox or Prime, I guess.
Oh, probably. Hell, I don't know.
But we always say, own it.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Get your physical media of it, because you never know when streaming's going to drop it.
Yep. And those of you that have physical media, share, please. Like we would love to. And I have some friends of mine, I'm not going to call them out, that, I've been wanting to get on for a physical media episode. Their schedules are complete opposite, so it's not me knocking them. I know they don't have the time. But I would love to still have some time set aside. But those of you who have like physical media, which leads me to, so I'll go back. Half Price Books, about like half a year ago, Street Trash was in the porno case locked up. And it was like $80 to $100. And I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm not buying that. But you know what? Someone fucking bought it. Because it's not there anymore.
Wow.
So that person, people like that, need to find our podcast, because that's in Mishawaka.
Yeah.
Not fucking far. And they need to come on the show. Because, who's buying Street Trash?
Yeah, I need to know. Who's this idiot? I mean, in the nicest way. Who's this idiot that's buying this?
Well, hey.
And not talking to us?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was like an attorney or a doctor or like had a lot more money, yes, I would fucking buy Street Trash for that. But I am not. And I don't have that money that I want to burn and kick aside. I am still debating on whether to spend $60 on the fucking tall man mask at Karma. So like, to me, $60 on a mask, $100 on a movie, you know. It's not a huge difference, but still. So, yeah, people like that, we need to find this podcast.
Yeah.
And I would just like to know who bought it.
Yeah. Like, who are you?
Who are you, masked man? Or woman?
Right? Oh, it's true.
True. Could be. We don't know.
Yeah.
Have no idea. So, oh, man. Yeah, I guess that concludes our little Street Trash recap. Absolutely.
Just make sure to check out the actual magazine once it comes out. We'll link it.
Yes, and check it out. I'm so curious to see how this magazine lays out.
It's got to be good. I mean, he's a lowbrow guy. We're a lowbrow podcast. Two pieces in the pod. We can make it work.
It's going to fit together. So awesome. All right. Well, with that being said,
look out for each other, and good night, cellar dwellers. Bye-bye.